This camp has been a part of my experience of Montana for all the years that I've lived in this state. And I've been here twice. I've been here once in the late 80s and then again since 97 when I started as the pastor at the Flathead. Oh, and one of the things, by the way, that I always like to remind people of, especially if Glenn Burfind is around, is that this camp is in Lake County, so technically it was a part of my parish. But I thought a good place for us to start is just for me to ask you, do you remember your first time here? I remember John Dutzer talking about his spell up here once, or a couple months, and I that was kind of the method and the way and the practice, and we've changed it back and forth through the years, but this is still a place where we have our children come from our congregations. We have so many of us gather for events. It really truly is like it's this center for our presbytery. I thought I'd tell you also, share you a little bit more about what I've had happen, personally in that. Through the years, I remember that we had the congregations here nearby, Kalispell and Whitefish and Polson, Hot Springs. We would have these seminars here, usually in the mid to late spring, and have speakers come in. Something that was kind of a same model as this sort of a thing. This has been a place for those things to happen over the years. But not just that, I've been able to, because it was in my neighborhood and in my backyard, come up and take little moments of respite and get away. I have memories of sitting down maybe I think it was probably, usually I'd do this in the fall when things were starting up again, and I knew not too many people were here, but coming to the camp, bringing my laptop computer and setting it up down at a picnic table down by the lower lodge and sitting there and taking time to kind of contemplate the year ahead. It's been important in that way for myself. It's been a place for gathering through the years that I think truly makes it a central point for this presbytery. I keep having come back to my mind this slogan that I saw. I think it's not around anymore, but it was an ad campaign for some farm supply company. I can't remember, but the tagline on it was so memorable because they hit just the right spot when they used it, and I think it speaks to anybody who lives in, gosh, just about any place. The tagline they had was "Strong ties to this land," and this presbytery, and so many of us have really strong ties, not just to the place where we live, but also to this particular spot. This has been our place where we can come together. So many of you, when you were sharing your first time here, we're talking about presbytery meetings. It's been an incredible place for us to be able to gather. And to look forward and to be the church together in a place. There's just the way that we as human beings are made makes it so that we really have this need for a sense of place, a sense of where we are. of a place where, as a community, we can exist. I think it's directly related to the fact that we're made out of stuff. We're made out of the same elements, the same things that surround us. It is impossible for us to be human, to be people, to be God's people, without what we carry around, without the flesh that makes up part of us. And I think it is very difficult for an organization, for a community, for a church, for a presbytery, to be able to see itself as having a unity and an embodiment without some sort of central place to which it's tied. We have church buildings that we maintain. We have property in that way. Our presbytery has this property that it maintains and that it keeps. You know, there's always, though, the mistake we can make, or the false path that we can take what we center our lives around, to take the physical places that we have and turn them into something that's sacred, and try to preserve them for a certain way that we remember. I'm using the word sacred there too, not in the case of like, I think that actually all land is sacred, but I'm using sacred as something that becomes like just a place that we think we need to keep in one particular way, that we can't change it at all. And it's when we cross over that line that we begin to start to see these special places, these central places, I think, as not only burdens for us, but also perhaps as something that's expendable, that we can just kind of let go. This camp, I think, for us in the presbytery, is meant to be a place from which we can grow and we can develop. It's meant to be a place where we can continue to find ways for it to enhance our ministry, enhance our life together, and enhance our outreach to the wider world. And it's always been a struggle, because we have to kind of get centered in on what that is. But I guess as we look at our need, especially in this time of great need of new ways of doing things, as we think about what we need to do to maintain it, to help keep it up, that we need to realize that the money that we can give, the ways that we can support this camp now, will allow it to survive into new generations, for new opportunities and new ways of being the church, and new ways that will pull us together as God's people, a part of God's people in this part of Montana. I am looking forward to the future of this presbytery and the role that this particular place can play in that. There are opportunities coming our way, I think, that will enable us to have more and more seminars such as this one. Will allow us to maybe even expand the camp program as we find ways to do that for other kids, to turn this into an outreach. And we need to get through this time of difficulty, this time of all of us kind of hunkering down in our bunkers to be ready, though, for what's going to come after. Thank you for your time.